What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Let's get into a jam-packed episode of Monday Night Raw right before Elimination Chamber this Saturday. The show kicked off with Gunther opening the show, bragging about his accomplishments, saying how he took out AJ Styles, John Cena, and Goldberg for none other than Dragon Lee to come out and attack him. Adam Pearce yelling at Gunther backstage, saying, "Is this what you wanted?" To bring out Cody Rhodes, saying that he's ready to take on all challengers in the Elimination Chamber with the Vision coming out, getting Bronson Reed ready for his Elimination Chamber qualifier match. What did you think about the show, Matthew?
What did I think about the show? I'll tell you. I mean, did it feel like a go-home show for Elimination Chamber? Yeah, it did. Did it pump me up for Elimination Chamber? I mean, I guess it did what it was supposed to, but I feel like it definitely could have been a little bit more amped up. But you know what, man? I think tonight was more so about AJ Styles, and in the ending, they gave us AJ Styles, and I think it was a good way to send AJ off. Now, before we get into the show, there were talks about AJ going to TNA to finish his wrestling career, but I hate to say it, I think this is it. I think WWE was the last place he was going to be a professional wrestler, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So they start the show, the first matchup of the show with an Elimination Chamber qualifier, Jey Uso versus El Grande Americano versus Bronson Reed. This match is a little bit all over the place. And I'll tell you why. So at one point in the match, Bronson Reed broke up a pinfall between Jay and El Grande, where it looked like he suffered some type of wrist or forearm injury.
It looked like he might have torn his tricep, which
they later confirmed that into the night. So that is true. So it took him out of the contest, and he was required to medical. So medical attention came up at this point, and with him ringside, so he was down and out. So we had Jey Uso and El Grande left in this matchup, and I'll tell you, you could tell the ref was calling an audible. He was telling both Jey and El Grande, there's a shift. And you could tell the way that they were kind of handling this matchup, the way they were kind of going against one another, it was a bit awkward, but they definitely had to make a call. And I think Bronson Reed was going to be the winner of this match, by him being taken out, literally completely shifted mid-match everything that had happened. And this led Jey Uso to his spear and a splash for the win. And you could tell, like, he just wasn't ready for this. Not like he didn't want it. And this definitely wasn't the creative direction to have Jey Uso win the qualifier match and go into elimination. But definitely, I think it was Braun Breaker. And you could tell this was a bit awkward. But they pulled it off. They did it. And, well, Jey Uso is qualified.
Yeah, you know what they say, man. WWE is live, and they got to come up with stuff on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
It was later confirmed that Bronson Reed was, in fact, supposed to win that match. And I don't mind them putting Jey Uso in the Elimination Chamber qualifier. Like you said, the match got a little off the rails. Looked like Jey Uso was a little bit blown up, a little bit, caught off guard with the way it was going to finish. Him and El Grande are professionals, and they made the best of the situation. Now, we have another weird situation coming up next. We had Maxine Dupree take on this new version of Natalya, kind of like an MMA fighter style Natalya. And Maxine Dupree, they start getting in the match. She hits one of her spin kicks. It goes to the outside. Natalya bashes her into the ring post like we've seen 1,000 times over, and they played it off into a knockout win for Natalya. Kind of
as Natalya kept going after Maxine, despite Maxine on the ground laying like she was unconscious, with Natalya just kind of relentlessly unloading on Maxine until the referee called for the bell. So it was kind of awkward, I'll be honest with you. Especially after what the first match culminated as and how it finished to this. It just couldn't it just, man, one thing after another. It was definitely a weird way to kind of start the show, and I kind of wanted it to pick up from here. Liv Morgan makes her decision, as she is the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner. She's flanked by Dominic. So both Stephanie comes out. and Jade Cargill. Both are current WWE Women's Champions. Who is Liv going to take on at WrestleMania? Is it going to be Stephanie Vaquer or is it going to be Jade Cargill? Well, she blasts Stephanie with a microphone, beating her down. Looks like we're going to get Stephanie versus Liv as Jade just awkwardly leaves the ring and walks up the ramp. I just felt like it could have been played better, but well, it looked like that's who she picked. And well, Jade, well, what else does she have to worry about? Whoever's going to win the women's elimination chamber.
Yeah, for sure,
So
dude. It looks like it's gonna be, if I had to guess right now, we have Tiffany Stratton in that
yeah,
match. We have
I,
Julia, we have, Io Sky. No, excuse me, we have Raquel Rodriguez. That's the
yeah,
match coming up later on. Sorry, spoiler alert. And you know what? My money's on Tiffany Stratton versus Jade. We'll get that rematch at WrestleMania, probably.
yeah, and especially Kiana James being in there, her being a winner would be an upset.
Yes.
But I don't think it's her time yet. So what do we have next? Brock Lesnar. Uh, he's out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is by his side, his advocate. It's just weird seeing Paul flank Brock Lesnar like the good old times when
I
he's
know.
the wise man for or the oracle for the vision. But man, the vision no more, dude. This is weird.
The injury bug,
Bronson Reed
man. What
out,
can we do?
Seth Rollins out, Braun Breaker out. It's like they're really cutting loose on these ends. With with WrestleMania on the cusp, Paul Heyman is basically opening a challenge for Brock Lesnar here. Who is going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? He had no spoiler. He had no prediction. Tossed the mic to the ground. He basically said there's not one person in the back that has the balls to face Brock Lesnar.
Yes.
And I think we all kind of know who it's going to be. There's rumors about LA Knight, but I think we all know it's going to be Oba Femi, and it makes sense. But we saw Oba Femi earlier in the night during a backstage promo, and it's just weird how Paul Heyman said, through everybody we walked through backstage, there's not one man. I get what they were saying, but well,
Yeah.
Oba Femi was backstage.
And
He was
technically,
backstage tonight.
he's a free agent, man. So his
Yeah,
position is undecided. But I think we all want to see that match
yeah.
between Oba and Brock Lesnar at Mania. Now, I did spoil this match that we have coming up next by accident. We had the Women's Elimination Chamber final qualifier. Raquel Rodriguez, Big Mommy Cool, of course, dominated the match. Good back and forth. Io Sky definitely put in some work. But for none other than Raquel Rodriguez to finally seem like she's getting that singles push, she could be a surprise winner for me for the chamber as well. And maybe get her main event spot at WrestleMania. Who knows?
There was a moment in time where I thought Kyrie Sane was going to win this, but Raquel winning it was definitely the right call. So she is advancing. Next, we get Javon Evans versus Kofi Kingston. This is from a backstage altercation with the New Day and Javon Evans. Evans defeats Kingston here. I think it was a good call. Evans is hot, kind of fighting his way back into the match, neutralizing Grayson Waller and Xavier Woods on the floor, delivered an OG cutter for the win. Good call here. This dude's got a bright future, man. He's definitely got a bright future. I'm here for him.
Bright future and a high flyer for sure.
Yeah.
We
CM
then
Punk,
had,
let's talk about it.
yeah, CM Punk opened up with a fire promo. He's always hot on the microphone, giving the flowers to AJ Styles, who we did see in our main event segment. Saying that he's just cherished being in the ring with him and learned so much from him over the years. But turning his focus to Roman Reigns, announcing that Roman will be in Indianapolis next week for Monday Night Raw, and he might just punch him right in the face there and not even wait for WrestleMania.
Well, are we going to see CM Punk versus Roman Reigns at Mania, or are we going to see CM Punk versus or Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania? Now, Saturday, if Finn Balor defeats CM Punk, it's going to be most likely Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns, and unfortunately, I just don't see that happening. They could swerve us, but there's always that what if case scenario, and that's what the theme of tonight was with CM Punk, the what if.
Absolutely.
Um, I'm not sure, man. I'm curious what they're gonna go through with here. Is it gonna be an easy or not an easy, but a clean win by Punk? Not so sure. I think we're gonna see some type of happen with Judgment Day. and it's going to cost Finn Balor the match, and that's what's going to deter Finn completely from the Judgment Day and turn on them. And I think that would be a great way for that to completely turn Finn Balor away from Judgment Day.
Potentially even seeing maybe that Demon Finn Balor come back out. I mean, I'd love to see it.
I wouldn't mind it.
What I love to see next, man, let's get to our heartfelt main event segment here. We had AJ Styles coming down to the ring in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia. We knew he was going to have so many emotions, pretty much like you said, officially dispelling all the rumors of whether he was going to go to TNA to round out his career. Basically saying he wanted to officially announce that he was done and over in his hometown and got a great pop from the crowd. We had some cool people come out with all the wrestlers from the back, and then none other than The Undertaker coming down on that badass motorcycle, giving AJ his flowers, man, and officially announcing him in the Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Yeah, that was unexpected. The way they were ending the show with everybody walking to the entrance ramp, that was cool. But I'm like, it's not going to end like this. You know what I mean? It just seemed not forced, but it just seemed like it fell flat. And then the Undertaker came out, and I'm like, yeah, nice. Like cool. But then inducting him to the Hall of Fame, they put the icing on a cake there. I'll give him a a pat on the back for that. That was awesome. And I think that was the way to send AJ Styles off, throwing him into the Hall of Fame. Because if they didn't do that tonight, I wouldn't have said it would have been a horrible celebration for AJ Styles. It definitely wouldn't have been, but it would have just fell flat for me. It just wouldn't have lived up to the anticipation that I was hoping it to have been, especially for somebody like AJ Styles, the name AJ Styles. But Elimination Chamber should be good. They just got a lot of shifting come WrestleMania. There's quite some people injured, and I think there's a shift in storyline. But man, I'll tell you, I'm here for it, and I'm here to see what they come up with.
Me too, man. Let's hope all members of the Vision have a speedy recovery, man. The original member, Seth Rollins, is injured. Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. Now we just gotta hope that Austin Theory and Logan Paul can stay healthy, man. Because like you said, WrestleMania is about a month and a couple weeks away. As scary as that is to say, man, it's gonna be here on our heels before we know it. A phenomenal way to end the show for the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Much deserving of the Hall of Fame. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next time. Until then, peace out. This has been KozMatt. Thanks for watching.